The Team USA game is about to begin. The television is on. The volume is higher than usual. Maybe there is food on the table, a flag near the couch, and a nervous energy moving through the room before the first whistle even sounds. Then your dog walks in. They could lie in the hallway. They could choose the empty chair, the quiet bedroom, or the patch of floor where they normally sleep. But instead, they sit beside you. Maybe their body rests against your leg. Maybe they place one paw near your foot. Maybe they keep looking from the television back to your face. It is easy to believe they simply want the warmest place on the couch, but comfort does not explain everything. Your dog may not understand why the United States needs a goal. They do not know what the score means, why one player's name makes you hopeful, or why a referee's whistle can change the mood of an entire room. But they understand that you are different tonight. They hear it in your voice. They see it in your body. They feel it in the way your attention, breathing, and energy change as the match unfolds. And the real reason they remain beside you may not become clear when Team USA scores. It may appear when the match becomes tense, when you stop speaking and your dog quietly makes a choice. Stay with me, because the final reason they sit beside you may have less to do with what they need from you and more to do with what they have learned you need from them. Number 1. You have become the most important part of the room. During a soccer match, your attention is on the television. Your dog's attention may be on you. They might glance toward the moving players or react to the sound of the crowd, but the screen itself does not necessarily explain why they choose the seat beside yours. Dogs live in a world of patterns. The sound of keys can predict that someone is leaving. A cabinet opening may predict food. A familiar pair of shoes can announce a walk before the leash ever appears. Team USA games create a different pattern. You prepare the room. You sit in a particular place. You speak more loudly. You react to moments your dog cannot predict by watching the room alone. To your dog, you become the most useful source of information. When your body relaxes, the situation may feel ordinary. When you lean forward and become still, something may be about to happen. When you suddenly stand, shout, or clap, the entire emotional atmosphere changes. So your dog remains close enough to observe you, not because they are studying the formation on the field, because they are studying the person who gives the room meaning. In emotional terms, their position may be saying, "I do not know what everyone is watching, but I know who to watch." Number 2. Your voice changes before the score does. Think about how many different versions of your voice appear during one close match. There is the calm voice before kickoff, the hopeful voice when Team USA moves forward, the tight, restrained voice when the other team gets close to goal. Then there is the sudden shout. Come on. No. Yes. Your dog may recognize certain familiar words, but they do not need to understand the language of soccer to notice the emotional information inside your voice. Dogs can respond to changes in tone, pitch, volume, and rhythm. Research also suggests that dogs can combine information from human faces and voices when distinguishing emotional expressions. That does not mean your dog interprets your feelings exactly as another person would. It means your voice contains signals, and during a game, those signals change quickly. One moment, you are quiet. The next, you sound alarmed, then excited, then disappointed, then hopeful again. Your dog may sit beside you, because proximity makes these changes easier to understand. From nearby, they can hear whether your voice is playful or sharp. They can see whether your face is relaxed or tense. They can notice whether your movement is directed toward them or simply toward the screen. They are not following the commentary. They are listening to the emotional rhythm underneath it. Number 3. Your body tells them when the moment matters. Before an important play, many people become almost completely still. You stop reaching for your drink. Your shoulders rise. Your hands tighten. You lean toward the television as if moving closer could somehow change what happens on the field. Then, the chance disappears. Your entire body releases at once. Your dog may notice that sequence long before you become aware of it. Dogs are highly attentive to movement and posture. They often learn what ordinary human behavior looks like because they see it every day. That makes unusual behavior stand out. A person who normally sinks into the couch is suddenly sitting at the edge. A hand that usually rests calmly is gripping a pillow. A familiar breathing pattern becomes quicker, shallower, or briefly stops. There may even be information your dog detects through scent. Controlled research has shown that trained dogs can distinguish odor samples collected from people before and after an acute stress task. This does not prove that every pet dog understands exactly why a person is stressed, but it suggests that stress can produce physical changes a dog may be capable of detecting. During a close Team USA game, your dog may therefore receive several signals at once. Your muscles tighten, your breathing changes, your voice becomes restrained, your attention narrows, and something about your scent may be different. They do not know that the score is tied, but they may know that you are waiting for something important. Number 4. Sitting beside you gives them a safe reference point. Not every dog approaches excitement in the same way. One dog may bark when the crowd on television gets louder. Another may run toward the door. Another may leave the room entirely. And another may sit close enough for their shoulder to touch your knee. That closeness can have more than one meaning. For some dogs, a familiar person acts as a secure reference point in an uncertain environment. Researchers studying dog-human attachment have found that many dogs behave differently when a familiar caregiver is present. Your dog may not be frightened by the game itself. They may simply find the evening less predictable than usual. The television is louder. People move suddenly. The room erupts without warning. By sitting beside you, your dog can gather information and remain near something familiar at the same time. Your presence does not remove every startling sound, but it may help place those sounds inside a known situation. This room is louder than usual, but my person is here. That is not always a sign that your dog is anxious. It can also be a sign of social preference, habit, comfort, or simple companionship. The important detail is the rest of their body. A dog resting loosely beside you, with soft eyes and a relaxed posture, is telling a different story from a dog who is crouched, trembling, panting in a cool room, or repeatedly trying to hide. The location matters, but the whole body tells you why. Number 5. They may have learned that game night brings you closer. Your dog does not need to understand Team USA to recognize what happens during a Team USA game. You stay in one place longer. Family members gather. Your hands are often free between exciting moments. Someone may touch the dog, speak to them, or laugh when they react to the television. From your dog's point of view, game night may be filled with social opportunities. Perhaps they sit beside you because that is when you absent-mindedly rest a hand on their back. Perhaps your nervous energy makes you reach down and stroke their ears. Perhaps every time the room gets tense, you touch your dog without realizing it. Over time, that pattern can become meaningful. Dogs learn through association. If sitting beside you repeatedly leads to warmth, attention, touch, or a calm voice, they have a good reason to return to that place during the next game. This does not make the connection less emotional. Learning is part of how relationships are built. Your dog learns where you sit, when you become quiet, how your hand moves when you are worried, what happens when they place their head beneath it. Eventually, sitting beside you may become part of the ritual, not because they support a team, because they recognize a moment when closeness is welcome. Quick question: where does your dog go when Team USA plays? Think about the last big game. Did your dog sit against your leg, climb onto the couch, bring you a toy, watch from the doorway, or leave for a quieter room? Tell me in the comments. Those small choices may reveal whether your dog experiences game night as companionship, play, curiosity, or something slightly overwhelming. And pay attention to what happens when the match becomes quiet. Because the most important reason your dog sits beside you may not appear during the celebration. It often appears when your team is under pressure. Your voice disappears, and your dog moves closer without being called. Number 6. They may be responding to your tension, not the crowd. A loud celebration is easy to notice, but dogs may also respond to the moments when nothing is happening outwardly. The final minutes begin. Team USA needs one goal. The room becomes still. You stop talking. Your dog gets up, crosses the room, and sits beside you. Why then? It may be tempting to say they understand the importance of the match. A more realistic explanation may be even more meaningful. They understand that something has changed in you. Dogs can use human emotional information when deciding how to respond to a situation. They also learn the individual habits of the people they live with. Your dog knows what your ordinary silence looks like. They know how you normally sit. They know whether your stillness means rest, sadness, concentration, or tension. Not perfectly, but often well enough to notice a difference. When they approach, they may be seeking reassurance from you. Or they may have learned that their presence changes your state. Perhaps you exhale when they lean against you. Perhaps your shoulders lower when you touch their fur. Perhaps you look away from the screen for 1 second and return to the room around you. Your dog may not consciously think, "My person needs support." But relationships do not require a human explanation to affect behavior. They require repetition. Your dog comes closer. You become softer. That response becomes part of what they have learned about you. Number 7. They are reading whether your excitement is safe. When Team USA scores, the room may explode. People jump. Hands rise. Someone shouts directly above the dog. Your dog may wag, bark, or rush into the movement. But participation does not always mean enjoyment. A wagging tail alone is not enough to interpret a dog's emotional state. Tail height, speed, body tension, ear position, facial expression, and whether the dog chooses to remain all matter. A loose dog who approaches with soft eyes and a relaxed mouth may be joining the social energy. A dog with a low posture, pinned ears, repeated lip licking, a tucked tail, or an urgent attempt to escape may be overwhelmed. Your dog may sit beside you because they trust you to help them understand whether the excitement is safe. That gives you a responsibility. You do not need to suppress every cheer, but you should allow your dog to move away. Do not block their path to another room. Do not pull them into a celebration for a picture. Do not assume a worried dog will get used to it if the noise continues. Provide a familiar bed or quiet space away from the television. Make sure guests know not to crowd the dog. Keep unsafe food and drinks out of reach. Most importantly, notice recovery. Does your dog relax soon after the noise stops? Or do they remain restless, hidden, or unable to settle? A brief startle can be normal. A repeated pattern of distress deserves attention. The final reason they may have learned how to bring you back. Now return to the quietest moment of the game. You are staring at the screen. The result feels enormous. Your jaw is tight. Your breathing is shallow. Then your dog presses their body against your leg. You lower your hand. Without thinking, you touch them. For 1 second, you notice the warmth of their fur, the weight of their body, the fact that you are sitting in a room with an animal who has no idea what the scoreboard says. And your breathing changes. This may be the deepest reason your dog continues choosing that place. Not because they understand soccer, not because they believe Team USA needs them, but because repeated experience may have taught them that sitting beside you changes the emotional rhythm between you. Physical interaction with a familiar dog can influence how some people feel and respond to stress. Dogs themselves can also be affected by the emotional states and behavior of their owners. The relationship can move in both directions. You influence your dog. Your dog influences you. So when they sit beside you during the most tense part of the game, they may be seeking closeness for themselves, but they may also be repeating a pattern that has calmed you before. They come near. You touch them. Your body softens. The room feels more predictable for both of you. Your dog does not need a human understanding of comfort to participate in that process. They only need to remember what happens when they choose you. After the final whistle, watch what your dog does next. The match ends. Maybe Team USA wins, and the room remains bright with celebration. Maybe the result hurts, and everyone becomes quiet. Now the soccer story is over, but your dog is still reading the room. Watch what they do next. Do they stretch and settle beside you? Do they pick up a toy now that your attention is available? Do they return from another room? Do they shake their body, drink water, and relax? These behaviors can help you understand how manageable the experience was for them. A dog who returns to a loose, normal state probably handled the evening well, even if a few moments were surprising. A dog who continues hiding, panting, pacing, trembling, or avoiding the room may have found the experience too intense. One unusual evening does not automatically indicate a serious problem. Look for a pattern. Does your dog react this way during every game? Are the reactions becoming stronger? Do they recover when the house becomes quiet? Are there other changes in appetite, sleep, movement, or behavior? If distress is strong, persistent, or worsening, discussing it with a veterinarian or qualified behavior professional is a responsible next step. Your dog cannot explain the experience in words. Recovery is part of their answer. The next time Team USA plays, look down for a moment. Notice where your dog chooses to sit. Notice whether they watch the television or whether they watch you. They do not understand the flag on your shirt. They do not understand why this match feels different from every other program on television. They do not know the standings, the tournament, or what one goal could mean. But they know the sound of your hope. They know the shape of your tension. They know how your body changes when you are waiting. And they know what often happens when they place themselves beside you. Maybe you touch them. Maybe you relax. Maybe the two of you simply remain there together until the room becomes calm again. So enjoy the match. Cheer for Team USA. Celebrate the goals. But remember that the dog beside you is experiencing a different kind of event. You are watching a team. They are watching a person they have learned over hundreds of ordinary days. Your routines, your voice, your movements, your quiet moments. And when they choose the space beside you, they may not be saying, "I understand this game." They may be saying something far simpler. "I know you. I know when you change. And whatever is happening in this room, I would rather understand it from here beside you."